Okay, so by now you guys should have already played the new Distorted Winter Holiday chapter, and honestly, it's a massive improvement from the original Winter Holiday chapter. I mean, we got better graphics, better models, better mechanics, and overall better quality from the previous one, and it also came with lore. You see, around the map there are different notes with numbers attached to them. Now at first I had no idea what these notes meant, but luckily someone already decoded them. The message says, "Does anyone know you well enough to tell you if you're a robot?" Now this message could be meant for multiple characters and could possibly reveal the true identity of Sam, so I narrowed it down to these three characters: Harry, Mudson, and the player. Also, a very small detail I found out while looking for the decoded message spread out throughout the notes. In this video created by MiniToonFan99, I found out about this small detail in the Winter Holiday chapter, which shows two figures that kinda looks like Pony and Zizzy. And I actually went back and replayed the chapter, and turns out it's actually there, in the blue key room, literally on top of the blue fire. These blocky figures have both Zizzy and Pony's colors. It looks like they're being paralyzed by black spikes. Now this could represent a couple things, such as both Pony and Zizzy being goners, or according to MiniToonFan99, it could tell us which ending from the lab chapter is considered canon. But there are a couple flaws with these two theories. For starters, apparently all the endings from the last chapter is considered canon. They just take place in different timelines. This couldn't just represent them being infected, because if it was, we could have possibly seen both Bunny and Doggy, since they were our allies in earlier chapters. So what could this represent? I personally think this is something to do with the incidents. You see, throughout the storyline, these two characters do interact with the incidents. Zizzy meets Teal in the Distraction chapter, and Pony straight up tells us that he heard and met Teal twice, both in the Safe Place chapter and the Temple chapter. Neither Doggy or Bunny had met Teal in person in the storyline yet, before they got infected. But we're getting off topic here. So back to what we were saying about the notes. This could be addressing to characters like Harry, Mudson, and the player. But we can immediately eliminate the player because the player isn't a robot. At first I was convinced because it could explain why the player is immune to the infection, but the more I thought about it, the more I realized there are many flaws to his theory. For example, in the plant chapter, Mr. P tells us that he found signs of the infection within us. He never said he found any mechanical engineering along with the infection within us, and Teal straight up tells us that we were human. Anyways, with the player out, this leaves us with two other characters, Harry and Mudson. And at first I was convinced that Harry could be Sam, but trapped inside the VR game. Cause, let's be realistic for a second, Harry is on very, very thin ice with Mudson. I mean, he almost got killed, mainly because Harry was trying to ruin Mudson's career by spreading rumors about the company, and who knows, he probably knows what happened to Ryder Page. But luckily for him, he was saved by Mudson's wife last minute. Now, I originally thought Harry was possibly killing Mudson and had his body turned into a robot. But later I realized that couldn't be the case, since one, it doesn't make any sense, and two, it wouldn't match up as Sam as a character. If we pay close attention to Sam's kill animations, we can see that he kills in a very aggressive and violent way, and the wiki confirms how Sam kills the player. First, he lifts his arms up and smashes the player to death. Second, he bites the player's head off. And third, he snaps the player's neck. Now these are some very aggressive actions that wouldn't really fit Harry. Also, if Harry is Sam or got turned into a robot, then it would have been really bad for Mudson, because he was already dealing with allegations that he turns his employees into robots. But anyways, with the player and Harry out of the way, that only leaves us with one other character, Mudson himself. So this entire video is just speculation, so don't take any of this seriously. Now Mudson is shown to be very aggressive, specifically to Harry, just how Sam is towards the player. So could Mudson be Sam? No, mainly because the chapter is not canon. But you know what I think is canon? This VR headset in the end of the cutscene. And wouldn't you know it, this headset was made by the same people who made Pig 64. In the storyline, of course. Now, I have a feeling that this chapter represents future events that are going to happen in Pig 64, specifically the end. I believe that Sam and the notes represent what's going to happen to Mudson at the end of Pig 64. And we're probably going to get it in the tape recording. I predict that in the end of Pig 64, the robots that were made in Mudson services from mechanics and machinery will soon turn against Mudson and turn him into a robot. And the people over at Netix heard about what happened to Mudson and probably didn't have the best relationship with him. Probably took inspiration from what happened to Mudson and created Sam. And the notes spread around the map were meant to mock Sam because he finally got what he deserved. But I'm not so sure about the Zizzy and Pony figures. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Also, if the video sound rushed, it's because it is. I'm sorry. I'll try to make a better one next time. Anyways, comment down below what you guys think of this, and subscribe for more Piggy theory. Have a good rest of your day.